Hi everybody, welcome to another week of devotions. We've been following the theme of what it means to love God with all of your strength, which is all of your capacity, with all your enablement, with everything that you have. That's pretty much how God expects us to love Him. Last week we spoke about the fact that strength comes from God. God gives life, therefore He gives strength as well. And that strength is given by God, for His purpose, for His use. And so we use our strength that He has given us to give back to Him. We also said last week how that we're actually a lot stronger than we think we are. We often declare, oh, I don't have the strength to do this, and I'm running on empty, and I'm weak, and that. God doesn't buy that. God says, greater is He who's in you than he who's in the world. And so more often than not, we develop a victim's mentality. God can never use anybody who has that kind of an attitude. So we said, finally, don't ask God for strength, because in fact, you've already got it. He's given you strength. He dwells in you. There is no one more powerful than He, and He is the one who gives you the strength. It's just for us to turn the key, turn on the switch, and to utilize the power that God has already given us. Well, today I want to take it a step further and talk about strength in a more general term. I want to talk about the strength that comes at the point of prayer. In Exodus chapter 17, we have the amazing story of Moses coming up against a formidable enemy of the Amalekites, and how he withdrew from the army in the valley to go up onto the mountain, and he and Aaron and Hur, his two elderly sidekicks and helpers, went with him up the hill, and they were there to pray. Joshua was in the valley and he fought a magnificent fight. But I have to tell you that, as we've said often, the fight was not won in the valley. It was fought there, but the fight was won on the hill of prayer. Hill of prayer. Isn't it crazy that prayer has such incredible power? I don't know about you, but I'm a doer. I want to do stuff. I want to be in the valley and I want to fight the thing. But I just know that that is where the fighting happens. But the victory is won and is assured of through the point of the hill of prayer. So we need to be having people who will be willing to pray at that particular point. Even Jesus had that. Jesus often would go off on his own to a solitary place and he would pray. If Jesus needed to do that, people, I suggest that we need to do the same thing. When Jesus was about to face his greatest challenge, which was the cross, what do we find him doing? We find him in the Garden of Gethsemane, telling his disciples, please will you pray with me? Just for a short time, I'm in dire need of your prayer. And Jesus spent that time prior to his death, and the most anxious time of his life, not fighting, not arguing, not trying to get away, but on his knees at the point of prayer. I think that this is a great lesson for all of us today. That as much as we fight the battle in the valley, there's no doubt about that, we need to acknowledge that it's at the point of prayer that our real power comes from. There's a beautiful psalm, Psalm 20 verse 7, which says this: some trust in chariots and some trust in horses. That's what's happening down in the valley. But we trust in the name of the Lord our God. Won't you take some time today to find that quiet place? Find a space during the course of your busy schedule and out there in the battlefields of life. Take some time out to spend in the closet, as it were, on the hill, as it were, of prayer. Because that, guys, at the end of the day, is where real victory comes from. I hope you'll find a time today, maybe this evening before you go to bed, maybe early in the morning like now while we're doing our devotions. Spend some time just declaring your dependence upon God. That's really all this type of praying is about. I know we pray for specific things, and sometimes we tell God stuff that He already knows, and that's absolutely fine. That's one aspect of prayer. But this is the heart's cry of our dependence upon God to make life work, to make me the believer I need to be, to do life to His honor and to His glory. Once you can find some time today to do that, because that's part of what it means to save the world. Have a great day, guys. Bye.